What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 3 different Grayscale trusts today. We'll be going over Mana for Heart Song and LTCN and BCHG for Dialogue Kayaker. I believe that's what the name was. I'm reading my handwriting. I think that's right. So Mana here. Sorry it's taken so long, Heart Song. I meant to do this sooner, but man, I just haven't had time. This looks really good, bro. Actually looks really good. I love this structure. If you've been watching my channel, you know I love this structure where you go up to your anywhere here and then you come back down to the 886 specifically. It's not like you kind of go to it. It's not like you fudge it a little bit. Look at this respect right on that line. Beautiful, beautiful. Also previous area of resistance here. Previous kind of area of support as well. Yeah, and then you went deeper. Of course you did. I bet you come back down. You're at $17 now. I bet you come down to $12. I would think so. If not, maybe between $12 and $10, but I don't think that 886 breaks. If it does, 786 to 618 is possible, but I think that $12 area holds personally. If not, $10 will probably hold, and then if not, lower, of course. I want to look at the fit or the RSI real quick. Yeah, bearish divergence, fake out. That was looked like you had a shelf top here. You broke out, but it was a fake out this week. One more day to figure things out. I bet you do go lower. Probably again between $10 to $12 is what I'm thinking. Emphasis around that $12 area, but you could go around $10 as well. Yeah, strong, very strong, but going down. That's, man, as far as like what can it do, I don't know, man. This one out of all of them, look at the low liquidity you have on this, right? It's very, very low liquidity. $40 to $97. I bet it goes up way higher than that, though. Way higher than that. I bet it does. If Mana, I have price projections for Mana, the token, to go to $100. This is the trust, and it's already at 17, while Mana, the token, is worth like 46 cents. Yeah, this thing could do great. It could do really great, but I don't know. There's not enough data for me to decipher that. I suppose we could do Mana. By the way, if you guys saw that, the Shiba Inu burn, it doesn't matter. It was 30 million tokens on an asset that has 580 trillion tokens. Like, who cares? Don't buy into that. Read the articles. Okay? Compare it. Do critical thinking. Don't just read the headlines, because the headlines are meant to mislead you. They really are. Mana, Grayscale. Yeah, let's see. I want to do this real quick. So Mana's per share. That's how much you have. Let's see. Google calculator. So we would do 100. Yes, that's what we would do. Because if I think Mana can be worth 100, let's say it only goes to half. Okay, let's say it only goes to $50. Okay, let's say it only goes to $20. We'll keep it even more relevant for you guys, right? $20. I think it will go to 100. 20 is a lot more reasonable, right? $20. 20 times 9.3022. 90322. No, 93022. I'm sorry. $5,848. That would equal $186. Okay, and then if it went up to 100, like I'm thinking, that'd be times 5, would equal $930. So yeah, this thing could be worth. Well, that would be at that price, right? So assuming that the premium would go up, then absolutely you could see prices that are higher than this, because that would be if it was at what its price should be, right, per share. So if the premium was a 2x, then that would be, a 2x premium would be $1,860. If it was like a 10x premium, which we've seen with other Grayscale trusts, it would be insane. It would be insane. $9,300. It's worth $17 now. I don't know if that's going to happen. I have price targets for $100 for the Mana token to get there. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen, right? It might only go to $20. Who knows? But still, even at $20, if we divide this by 10, real quick, and then we divide that by 5 to get it back to 20, right? That's at 20. If it has a 10x premium on it again, that still prices above $1,000. So I don't know, might be worth looking into. That sounds pretty interesting. I do like Mana. Mana's one of my biggest holds, actually, guys. Mana, not the Grayscale Trust, the token. They don't have a discernible ticker difference, but it is one of my biggest holds. It's one of the coins that I feel the most safe with, actually. I don't talk about it enough, but it's been boring. You know, I don't talk about, just because I like it, I'm not going to shill it. I talk about what you guys want me to talk about, and if I see something interesting, I'll talk about it. But I've made plenty of long-term videos on Mana as to why I think that it's going to go up there. It's not just some like cockamamie reasons, that I'm coming up with it. But enough of that. LTCN right now looks like it's going down. Of course it is. We can run some math with LTCN too, because I've known that there would be premiums. I've just not really like thought about applying the math to it before. Let's apply the math to it. Let's do it. 0.086 31270 times, if I think that Litecoin can achieve a $2,500 price by the end of the cycle, and I do. Maybe it's 2,300. I forget, actually. Let's see. 2,500. Let's say it's only at 1,000. Let's be conservative and say it breaks that 1272. You go to about $1,000. Okay. It's times 1,000. I had somebody say it's not going to break 600. I'm like, dude, if it breaks this high, it's not going to stop at 600. It's going to that 1272. Absolutely, that's my genuine belief, but I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. So that would be what the expected price of LTCN should be. But again, assuming that there's going to be, is that right? Yes, that would be right. Assuming that there's going to be a premium on it, which we've seen. I don't know what the premiums were before. They were ridiculous, though, right? If we saw like a 20x premium, that'd be $1,726. So LTCN being worth more than 1,020. I don't remember what the max premium was, but if it was higher than that, then just take that same number, right? Take this number here and multiply it by whatever the maximum premium was. You might expect that. Maybe you see a greater premium. Maybe you see a lesser premium. Being the person I am, I would expect a lesser premium. It's better to be conservative, in my opinion, but if you want to, there is also the possibility that you could extend that. Maybe the premiums before will be surpassed. I don't know. I don't know if there's really any real way of knowing that. But in the meantime, I do think LTCN is going to go down. Again, that $1,700 level, that was just doing a 20x premium if Litecoin itself was worth 1,000. If Litecoin's worth 2,500, then that would mean that this premium, if it was at a 20x premium, that would double, right? That'd be over $3,000. Which fits right in range here with this $2,300 to $5,000 price targets that I have by the end of the cycle for this thing. But in the more immediate terms, again, I do think it's going down. Weekly looks sad. Daily looks sad. Yes, you were up a little bit today, just a little bit. Yeah, week 1 hour RSI. What you have is kind of this like slope down with a flat base. You're going to go lower. I think you absolutely do go lower. I'm very convinced, you guys. Shout out to everybody who's got their buy orders set for this thing. I'm very convinced that you'll see prices below $6. Yeah, I say very convinced, but I'd like, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Maybe you do hold support at like 630. You could, but I'm under the impression that you'll see prices around 472. If not there, somewhere between there and $6, man. I don't know what's wrong with me. It doesn't hurt, it's just annoying. But yeah. You're gonna go, from where you are now to where your oversold zone is, like I absolutely would expect that you go below here. I'd absolutely expect that you go below $6. And again, kind of sloping this curve. Okay, I'm drawing it too tight, but you can go down here, right? And you still have this like nice like higher low kind of curve going on. I didn't draw it too properly, but I feel like it's easier to see with the eyes than it is for me to draw, but I can't draw perfectly with this thing. So again, 615. 615 to, I'd say $4, probably closer to that $5 area if I really had to guess. But I do think he'll go below 7. I do think he'll go below 6. But it's any man's game. There's nothing wrong with buying above that green line. Even if I expect it to go below, I can be wrong. Even if you expect it to go below, you can be wrong. Even if we're right in assuming that it goes below there, there's nothing wrong with buying above it, starting to DCA in, because what if it does bounce right there, right? What if it bounces like right there? And you're waiting for it to go $1 lower, and you missed out on prime buying opportunities, right? It's already at such a discount. Nothing wrong with not trying to catch the absolute bottom. So don't get caught up in that. A lot of people try to catch it's ingrained in us, right? Society has taught us you want to get the best bang for your buck wherever you go, right? Like you want to get a good deal. If you're going to eat at a restaurant and one place offers basically the same kind of food as another place, but one place is like a third cheaper, you're going to go to the cheaper restaurant, you know? And they're like the same dining experience and everything, you're going to choose the cheaper one. Why wouldn't you try, if you know the price is going to go down here, why wouldn't you try to buy down here? Because you don't know the price is going to go down there. You don't. So there's nothing wrong with not trying. And I think actually, not financial advice, but I think that most of us would stand to gain on the idea of not trying to catch the absolute top and not trying to catch the absolute bottom, but just being around it. Whenever I accepted that as a trader, as an investor, my life changed. Like it genuinely changed when I accepted that, because you do not have to catch the exact tops and the exact bottoms. It's nice when it happens. You feel great, you feel smart, you feel lucky. You're very lucky when it happens, right? But it does happen, but it doesn't happen as often as you think, and it mainly is probably because of luck. But anyways, that's LTCN with a little bit of philosophy. BCHG as well. I want to do this on BCHG. BCHG Grayscale. Grayscale Trust. So that number there, we're going to do 0.0086. What is like 3186, I think? 3127. Did that change? Did that change? I feel like that changed. I feel like yesterday it was different. Does this change? Check my video. Maybe I'm crazy, but check my video, because I think that changed. I swear it was like 863186, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am sleep deprived. 3127. I didn't know that they change if they do change. That's news to me. But here I am. You know, I don't really invest in these. I invested in BCHG at one point. I took my profits and I'm out. I haven't been in it, but you know, I didn't really look into it, I guess, as far as like that goes. I just look at the charts, guys. I'm a chart guy, right? Ethan is the fundamental guy, right? I'm the chart guy. Okay, it's a good combo. But let's see here, top to bottom, probably going down to that 382, 234, $2, 210, something like that. Yeah, I bet you do go below $2. Or not $2, sorry, below 234. I would bet that you do go below 234. I want to check out this one again, bottom to top. 382 is at $1.78. Yeah. In fact, I would even say again, you know, I know I've probably said this a bunch of times, right? But it's the reason why it seems like I'm just figuring it out again is because I don't remember these charts every time, right? I like to do them like fresh in my head, so I'm just kind of like giving you the analysis as I'm like discovering it or rediscovering it each time. About $1.80. You probably go to around $1.80, a little bit below there. You have a little bit of support down here as well, right around $1.50. You often do go below your 382, so don't be surprised if you do that. I think that's fine. Form a higher low, all in all, right? Around $1.50 here. And you've got this low here, you've got like that low there, you've got that low, that low, that low, all higher lows, right? You probably do break this trend if I really had to assume, which would make sense because I do think that BCHG is going to consolidate for a little while. You're probably going to come down and you're not going to, I don't think, you know, you had your nice little like channel up. You'll probably break out of it, and that'll start this like longer term consolidation phase that you don't break out of. You don't start to move upwards until the second half of this year is my thoughts. But I do think BCHG goes below $2. again, with the heavy emphasis that I gave on LTCN, I want to give it here. You don't have to. It's very common, looking at this, it is very common to see your 382. Absolutely it is. In fact, if we take this, right, bottom to top here, you saw your 382 on that low. Bottom to top here, you saw your 382 from that low to high up on that low. You literally did. So I would think that you see your 382, but you don't have to. You really don't have to. Also, from this relative low to high, your 618 is right there at $2.05. Your 69 is at $1.83, right near that 382. So you might hold support just above it. Maybe this thing gets front ran, right? Maybe it does. You might go to your 1786 or your 786. That's also pretty common, and that's at about $1.60, which lines up, if you look left where that dashed line is, lines up with that previous area of support over here, right? So yeah, so just be aware of any of all of that. And just because you go down there doesn't mean that you're going to just skyrocket. You could, but I would bet that we consolidate for a little bit with BCHG and LTCN for multiple months, several months probably. We probably don't see these things take out these highs, their highs, until later this year, like in the second half of this year. But I want to do this real quick. This times, if I think that Bitcoin Cash is going to $20,000, $23,000, right, by the end of this cycle. I've labeled my reasons for that plenty of times, but if I think Bitcoin Cash is going to go to 23,000, let's be conservative again. Let's cut that in half. 23,000 cut in half would be 11,500. 11,500 equals that. That's what it should be, but we've seen a 20x premium, right? As that's what I've been informed by Ethan. Ethan, you commented, you told me it's seen a 20x. I did the math. At the high, it was at an 18x, but I'm sure that at some point it was at a 20x. But 18, 20x, whatever, we can do it by both. Let's do it. Let's do times 18 would equal that number. Whoa, bro, whoa. Divided by 18 to get back to our base there, and then multiply it by 20. Crazy, bro. Like, I've been saying this whole time, you guys, that I think that these numbers are likely that's where we're gonna go. Likely, that's likely where we're gonna go. Oh man, hold on now. I'll come back to this, but with what we just saw, right, this number, even beyond that, is possible. It's not just like, I wouldn't say it's likely, but it is possible. It's a lot more possible than I've been giving it credit for. At one point, I was thinking that's not even possible. But again, I am doing my math based off of the all-time high of the cycle, right? So if the all-time high of the cycle is $11,500, which I think is low, but there are targets around there. Maybe it does go to around there. I think we would at least go to 13,000. We found our high in BCHG months before. That was in December 2020. BCH didn't find its high until April of the next year, right? So like five months later. So, if the all-time high for Bitcoin Cash this cycle is at 13K, because that is my minimum target, if it is at 13K, then maybe beforehand we'd see, maybe it'd be at like 8K, maybe it'd be at like 7K, right? So let's do this again real quick. I don't know. I'm literally just guessing here, guys. I'm just like, let's say 7K. 7K equals that? No. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's divide it again by 7,000. There we go. Divide this by 11.5K. That's what it was. And then multiply that, which is the shares, right? Bitcoin Cash is per share. Multiply that by 7K. And then multiply that by a 20x premium. Would still give you prices above $1,000. So definitely beautiful. I would think, man, with that, man, that's like a very conservative approach. I do think that this 1618 is going to get hit, man. We're at $3.19, man. 400x, 500x coming your way, guys. And if it goes lower, even more. I'm very confident. I mean, I'm not so confident on that I would like bet somebody on it. But what I should say is that that this just became a whole lot more possible in my mind. It's more possible than I've been giving it credit for. In fact, it's so much more possible that I very much would expect that we go past both of these numbers. If we don't hit this one, I would at least expect that we break above that. So very bullish on BCHG, very bullish on LTCN. I've seen the light. I get it, man. And I got it before. I thought I got it, but I really get it now. This stuff has a lot of potential, especially with those premiums, man. Even if the price starts going down before the highs come in, these things can see immense growth in a very, very, very short amount of time. So I say very short amount of time, like a year and a half, right? It's gonna take some time, but that's all I got for you guys. If you like the video, hit that like button. I think they're both going down in the immediate term. Don't be surprised if you see bounces along the way. It's not just going to be a straight line down. Maybe it is, I don't know. But if it is a straight line down, then whenever you hit that bottom, it's not going to be a straight line up from there. You're probably going to consolidate for months. If not several weeks, but probably months. So that's all I got. Hit that like button, subscribe to see more. Thank you all for coming. Bye-bye.